Hey, welcome guys to another prediction video. This is week 2 of the 2025 season. Let's get started, shall we? The first game is the Thursday night game, and it is between the Washington Commanders and my Green Bay Packers. Washington beat the Giants last week. They look good, but we don't know because they played a crappy team like the New York Giants. But on the other hand, the Green Bay Packers, they look legit. Micah Parsons is 1 week more acclimated to the team on that defense. That defense looked great. Jordan Love looked great. Everybody on that team looked wonderful. So I'm picking my Green Bay Packers to win that game easily. The score is going to be a 27-17 game. Green Bay Packers with the win. Now let's get to the Sunday games. The Ravens and the Browns. Last week, the Ravens lost the game in a heartbreaking fashion. At the end of the game, Josh Allen made the throw for the go-ahead win field goal. The Ravens were winning that game until the last second of the game. Now the Browns, they played the Cincinnati Bengals last week, and they got the loss. But can you really call it a loss? They held that Bengals offense to only 10 points. But I'm going with the Ravens to win this game. Next game is Jacksonville and the Bengals. Like I said, the Bengals did beat the Browns last week, but their offense did not look that great. And now they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got the win, but it was a hard win. But I'm going with the Bengals. Now the next game is the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys lost a close game last week to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Dallas offense played pretty good, and it was a surprise. Dallas Texas defense, they were not that bad. They could get another pass rusher, but that's the other side of the story. And the New York Giants, yeah, they didn't look any good. Russell Wilson couldn't do nothing. The running game wasn't there. The passing game was horrible. I'm going with Dallas. Now we are getting to the Bears, Lions. Lions, they couldn't do nothing on offense until the end of the game against the Green Bay Packers. Jared Goff didn't look that great. Now the Bears, they did a lot of work. They did play the Minnesota Vikings on Monday Night Football. They could use a win. I'm gonna say the Lions are gonna beat the Bears. Sorry, Bears. Now let's go to the Patriots versus the Dolphins. Yeah, this game is not gonna be that great. I bet, because last week the Dolphins, didn't look that great. The offense was crap. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't pass the ball. Two Tagovailoa threw 2 picks and fumbled the ball once. Not a good, not a good showing for the beginning of the season. Patriots, they're still working on a second-year quarterback. They're trying to get Stephon Diggs going. Mike Vrabel is the new head coach, so that might be a little bit long. But looking at the Miami Dolphins, yeah, I'm going with the Patriots to win this game. The Patriots are definitely going to win this game. Patriots. Next game is the San Francisco 49ers versus the New Orleans Saints. Niners played the Seahawks last week. They won it in a close game. It was a last-minute touchdown by Brock Purdy to beat the Seattle Seahawks. The Saints, they're just a mess. I don't think they're going to win more than 3 games this season. That's why I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers to beat the New Orleans Saints. Next game is Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. I gotta say, the New York Jets, they were pretty good last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know they got the loss, but Justin Fields played pretty well. He threw for 2 touchdowns. They ran the ball pretty well. They passed the ball pretty well. It looks like a good sign for the Jets season. But on the other side, there's the Buffalo Bills. The Bills defense didn't look that great against the Baltimore Ravens. They couldn't stop the run. Derrick Henry had over 100 yards in that game with 2 touchdowns. But they did make Derrick Henry fumble the ball once. I'm going to say the Jets need a little bit more time. That's why I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills to beat the New York Jets. Next game is the Seahawks and the Steelers. This might be a great game because DK Metcalf is going back to Seattle with the Steelers because he's on the Steelers. I gotta say, Aaron Rodgers did not play that bad. He threw 4 touchdowns. He had over 200 yards. He looked like the old Aaron Rodgers of the past. But let's see how far he can keep it up. Because he is 41 years old. And then the Seahawks, they lost a heartbreaker at the last minute with the San Francisco 49ers. Sam Darnold, he didn't play that bad. So if they can do it again, and if they can get the running game going, they do have a chance of beating the Steelers. But what I saw Aaron Rodgers do with that Steelers offense, I can't bet against the Steelers, so I'm going Steelers. Next game is the Tennessee Titans versus the LA Rams. Now, this is an interesting game because Los Angeles Rams, it looks like Puka is going to be out for a little while with an injury. So they only have Davante Adams. Matt Stafford is not Stafford. We don't know if he's going to play or not play. He's always injured, but he did play last week, and he did get the win. Tennessee Titans, they don't look that bad, but they're still working with a rookie QB. So I'm taking the Rams over this. Now the next game, the Panthers and the Cardinals. Yeah, Panthers, they're just a mess. That's why they got rid of Adam Thielen. Young doesn't have anybody to throw to. And Arizona Cardinals, they won last week. Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray. They do have James Conner running the ball, and he's a beast in the backfield. And they also have Marvin Harrison Jr. in his second season. If he can keep healthy, I think he's going to be a star in the league this year. Because of that, I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals to beat the Carolina Panthers. Next game is the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. What can you say about the Colts? Daniel Jones played pretty well against that Miami defense, but that was the Miami defense. Miami defense was horrible. He has JT back there running the ball, who is a beast. But on the other side, Bo Nix and the Broncos and the newly signed Senate, the wide receiver, they look like they have good chemistry. I do believe in Bo Nix. I do love Bo Nix. These two teams come into week 2 with a win, but the Denver Broncos has a better defense than the Miami Dolphins has. So, just because of the defense, I'm taking the Broncos to beat the Colts. Now we come to the Super Bowl defending champion Philadelphia Eagles playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs lost last Friday against the Chargers, I believe. And the Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys in the opener. But it looks like Carter's going to be suspended for 1 game. And without that guy, the defense on the Eagles didn't look that great. The Eagles secondary didn't look that great either. But on the other side, the Kansas City Chiefs, they lost Rice to suspension for 5 more weeks, and they also lost Xavier Worthy to a dislocated shoulder last week. So I don't know who's going to be the wide receivers for the Chiefs, but I cannot go against Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna predict the upset. The upset is Kansas City Chiefs are gonna beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And now we come to the Vikings versus the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons played the Tampa Bay Bucks last week. They were in that game until the end. I do like what I see from the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, Michael Penix Jr. I think he is going to be a good player in the league. But the Minnesota Vikings, their defense is too good, man. Their defense is great. If J.J. McCarthy can find a way to not screw it up, the Vikings should come out with a win here. So I'm taking the Vikings. Now we go. Now we come to the Monday night game. We got 2 Monday night games this week. The first Monday night game is the Houston Texans and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Houston is coming off a loss, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming with a win. The Texans, they have problems on offense. They really do. They're missing wide receivers. The only healthy wide receiver they have is Nico Collins, and he's not a number 1 receiver. I'm sorry. He's a number 2 receiver. They need to find a number 1. Tank Dell is injured from last year. I don't know when Tank Dell's coming back. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looked great against the Atlanta Falcons last week. Baker Mayfield threw 3 touchdowns. They have too many weapons. They have 2 outstanding wide receivers. They have an emerging young running back. So I'm taking Tampa Bay. Now the second Monday night game is the Vegas Raiders and the LA Chargers. These 2 teams in the division, they're coming away with a win in week 1. Raiders beat the Patriots, and the Chargers beat the Chiefs. I think beating the Chiefs is more impressive than beating the Patriots. And I do like the Chargers offense with Keenan Allen back in the mix. He also had a touchdown last week. But I do like the rookie running back that the Raiders had in Ashton. But I really gotta take the Chargers in this one. But you cannot go. Don't bet against Herbert and do not bet against Harbaugh. Well, guys, that is week 2. So I hope you liked it in week 2. Like I said, this is my predictions, nobody else's. So I will see you next week with more predictions for week 3. Like I always say, stay safe, be positive, and go Pack Go. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and put on the notifications, guys. Alright, late.